The other day, John left a comment asking why I went to prison. And not what I did specifically, the crimes that I committed to be sentenced to 32 years, but what was the underlying issue? Because happy, healthy people don't just wake up and decide to commit crimes, so what was I struggling with? And for the longest time, when people have asked me, I've said, I was a happy kid, I grew up in a loving home, and everything was great, and I just threw it all away because I made bad decisions. Because it was a whole lot easier to say that than it was to risk the ire or the anger of someone else. Because for the longest time, I've always put someone else's needs or someone else's comfort or someone else's emotions in front of mine because it's been easier that way. Because I grew up in an environment where it's a whole lot easier to do that. But the thing is, that's not true. I was a kid who did the best I could with what was there. And I made a lot of bad decisions, and I could have made a lot of different decisions. I was there for a reason, though. And I looked at it differently as a kid, because when someone exploded and was just full of rage and absolutely crazy and the cops got called, well, I thought that was normal because it was the only thing that I knew. And when I got hit, I didn't think it was abuse because I got hit with an open hand and not a closed fist. And when I felt like it was my job to make somebody okay, or to meet their needs, or to be a good boy so that everything would be okay, I thought that that was normal because it was the only thing that I knew. But when that person reached out to me and said, hey, please don't talk about this, it hurts my feelings, I got angry. And it was one of the first times that I allowed myself to get angry. Because it's like a man who comes home and beats his wife, and then when she asks for help or she wants to tell the neighbor, he says, don't do that, it hurts my feelings. It's literally someone who has caused pain saying you have no right to that pain. You have no right to that narrative. You have no right to your own story and your own life, and that is not okay, and that will never be okay. So the story of why I went to prison, it's because I struggled with a lot of things. Because I didn't feel safe, because I didn't know how to cope, because I didn't have the people around me who could show me how to live a happy, healthy life. And I did the best that I could, and I regret the mistakes that I made, I regret the decisions I made, and I am terribly sorry for the harm that I did. I also know that I was doing the best I could under the circumstances that I was in, and that part of me healing and moving forward is going back and unpacking that, taking that stuff that's been swept under the table and pulling it out, because nothing grows in the dark. It has to be in the light. It has to see the light to heal, and it's complicated, because the same people who have hurt me are the people who loved me and provided for me, and that confuses the shit out of me. But I'm doing the best I can to unpack that. It's part of why I'm writing a book. People think I'm writing a book to tell my story. I'm writing a book to figure out what my story actually is, because I don't know, because I have never known. So why did I go to prison? Because I didn't know how to do anything else.